Listen, life isn't going to be fair, and people definitely aren't going to hand you respect or peace of mind on a silver platter. If you want to win, you have to build a mind so strong, so unshakable that nothing, and I mean nothing, can bother you. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about mastering yourself so the chaos around you bounces right off. If you're ready to stop wasting energy on drama, distractions, and opinions that don't matter, listen closely, because training yourself to be unbothered is the ultimate game changer. Emotions are like wild animals roaming inside your mind. If you don't tame them, they'll tear you apart from the inside out. Too many people are slaves to their feelings, reacting instantly, losing control, and letting their emotions dictate every move they make. That's weakness disguised as being real or just human. Real strength comes from mastering your emotions, not suppressing them, but controlling them like a skilled commander directs an army. When anger flares up, it's easy to lash out, to say things you regret, or make decisions based on heat rather than logic. When fear strikes, it's tempting to freeze or back down, to let hesitation kill opportunity. When jealousy or insecurity creeps in, it can poison your confidence, making you doubt yourself and slow your progress. These emotional traps are the biggest obstacles standing between you and the success or peace you want. The moment you let your emotions take over, you lose control, and in losing control, you lose power. Imagine the most successful people you know, the top athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. They don't let anger, fear, or self-doubt run their show. They acknowledge the feelings, sure, but they never act impulsively or allow those feelings to push them off course. Instead, they channel those emotions into focused energy. Anger becomes a fuel for discipline. Fear sharpens awareness. Doubt ignites preparation. This transformation happens only through conscious control. Training yourself to control your emotions is like training a muscle. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires daily practice. When you feel the heat of a negative emotion rising, you don't react immediately. You pause, you breathe, you observe what's happening inside without letting it hijack your mind. This pause creates space to think, to strategize, to respond rather than react. That split second of control is where power lives. You have to build emotional resilience. This means accepting that life will throw all kinds of emotional punches, setbacks, insults, failures, betrayals. But none of those external events have to determine your internal state. You decide how you feel and how you respond. If someone disrespects you, you can choose to be pissed off and lash back, or you can choose to stay calm, assess the situation, and respond in a way that benefits you. The second option makes you the master of your emotions. The first makes you a slave. It's also about recognizing that emotions are temporary. They come and go like waves. If you learn to ride those waves without drowning, you maintain your balance. When negative emotions hit, instead of panicking or overreacting, remind yourself that this feeling will pass. This mindset keeps you steady even when everything around you is chaos. Lastly, emotional control is about long-term vision. Instant gratification through emotional outbursts feels good momentarily but destroys progress. Real winners sacrifice momentary pleasure and short-term emotional relief for lasting power and control. They don't allow fleeting feelings to disrupt their pursuit of bigger goals. Controlling your emotions isn't weakness or denial, it's the ultimate form of strength. A declaration that no matter what life throws at you, you decide your mindset, your mood, and your move. Master this and you become unshakable. The world is filled with distractions, critics, and endless noise trying to pull you away from what matters most, your goals. People will always have opinions about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and whether they think you should be doing something else entirely. But the truth is, most of that noise is meaningless. It's nothing more than background static designed to unsettle you, make you doubt yourself, or slow your progress. If you want to win, if you want to be unstoppable, you have to train yourself to completely ignore this noise and lock in on your mission like a laser. The harsh reality is that no one outside your circle truly cares about your ambitions. They might pretend to support you, but when push comes to shove, most people will try to pull you down because your success highlights their own failures or insecurities. Envy, jealousy, and fear drive people to talk behind your back, spread negativity, and question your decisions. That noise is designed to distract and derail you. And if you give it any power, you hand over control of your mindset to others. The second you start caring about every opinion or criticism that comes your way, you lose focus and weaken your mental armor. To ignore the noise, you have to cultivate a single-minded obsession with your goals. This means waking up every day with a clear vision of what you want and ruthlessly prioritizing the tasks and actions that will get you there. When your purpose is burning so bright inside you, outside distractions become irrelevant. It's like having tunnel vision. The distractions exist, but you don't see them because you're too busy moving forward with unrelenting focus. The problem is most people try to please everyone or get caught up in drama. They read every comment, respond to every insult, and waste mental energy on things that have zero impact on their success. That's a recipe for burnout and failure. You have to build a mindset where the noise bounces off you like water on a duck's back. When someone talks smack or tries to pull you off your path, you acknowledge it briefly, if at all, and then keep moving. Your energy is too valuable to waste on petty distractions. Focus also means being selective with what you let into your mind. Social media, news, gossip, these are all designed to grab your attention and steal your time. But they don't contribute to your goals. They only serve to scatter your focus. Train yourself to consume information intentionally. Only engage with content and people that push you forward, challenge you positively, or offer real value. Put out the rest. Ignoring the noise is not about shutting out reality or becoming blind to feedback. It's about filtering. Constructive criticism from trusted mentors or data that helps you improve is useful. Random opinions and toxic drama are not. Learn to tell the difference and don't let irrelevant voices derail your progress. Ultimately, when you master this skill, your life changes. You become unstoppable because no distraction, no hate, no drama can shake your commitment. You're a machine focused on your goals. And that focus alone will set you apart from the crowd and make success inevitable. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's forged through discipline. Discipline is the backbone of an unbreakable mindset, the difference between those who quit at the first sign of trouble and those who push through pain and adversity to win. When life gets tough, emotions surge and distractions come knocking, discipline is what keeps you moving forward. It's the daily grind, the habits you build, and the consistent effort you put in when no one is watching that train your mind to stay strong and unshakable. Discipline is not glamorous. It's waking up early when your body begs for more sleep. It's saying no to temporary pleasures that don't serve your long-term vision. It's showing up every day, grinding through boredom, frustration, and setbacks without whining or making excuses. This daily consistency is what conditions your brain to resist temptation and avoid distraction. The more you practice discipline, the more you harden your mental state against the chaos of life. Is really about mental toughness. Is really about control. Control over your actions, your reactions, and your mindset. And control comes from routine and repetition. When you discipline yourself to work hard on your goals day after day, even when you don't feel like it, you teach your brain that giving up is not an option. You build resilience, which means when real challenges hit, the failures, the criticisms, the unexpected blows, you don't crumble. You adapt, recover, and keep going. Discipline, even the best intentions fail. People talk about motivation like it's the secret sauce, but motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is what you fall back on when motivation disappears. It's a commitment to your future self, the silent agreement that no matter how tough it gets, you will keep pushing forward. This mindset shift changes everything. It turns you into a machine, programmed to succeed because stopping isn't an option. Building mental toughness through discipline also means learning to delay gratification. The world is full of instant pleasures designed to distract and weaken your willpower. Junk food, mindless scrolling, partying, easy excuses. Every time you say no to these short-term distractions, you're strengthening your brain's ability to focus and endure discomfort. That resistance is training your mental muscles to handle bigger challenges with calm and confidence. Another key part of discipline is embracing discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Mental toughness is developed by facing pain, criticism, and failure head on, knowing that these are necessary steps on the road to success. When you discipline yourself to lean into discomfort rather than avoid it, you build a mind that won't break under pressure. Instead, it thrives. Lastly, discipline isn't just about work or goals. It's about lifestyle, your sleep, Nutrition, exercise, and social habits all feed into your mental toughness. Neglecting any of these areas weakens your mind's ability to stay focused and resilient. The disciplined person designs their life to support strength, not chaos. Through relentless discipline, you build a mental fortress. When chaos, doubt, or pressure come knocking, you don't flinch or fold, you stand firm. That's the power of mental toughness built on discipline. One of the biggest traps people fall into is seeking validation from others. This need to be liked, approved, or accepted controls their every move and emotion. They build their self-worth around what others think instead of what they know and create themselves. This is weakness, pure and simple, because it puts your power in the hands of people who don't actually own it. You have to detach from validation and opinions if you want to be truly unbothered and unstoppable. When you constantly look for approval, you give away your freedom. Every compliment or criticism becomes a trigger that controls your mood and decisions. You become a puppet dancing to the strings of other people's judgments. This is a recipe for inconsistency and failure because other people's opinions are unpredictable, often misguided, and most importantly, irrelevant to your potential. The harsh truth is, most people don't know what's best for you. They're stuck in their own limitations, fears, and biases. Why would you let their opinions shape your identity or choices? Detaching from validation doesn't mean you stop caring altogether. It means you stop needing external approval to feel worthy or confident. Your value isn't determined by applause or criticism. It's determined by your actions, results, and your own standards. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you don't have time to worry about who's watching or what they're saying. You move silently and with purpose, knowing that success speaks louder than any opinion. This detachment is also about mental independence. It's about building a mindset where your self-esteem comes from within, from your efforts, your discipline, and your achievements, not from social media likes, empty compliments, or destructive criticism. When you depend on internal validation, you're unshakable because your confidence isn't tied to a fluctuating external environment. This is the foundation of emotional control and resilience. Opinions, especially negative ones, can easily derail those who crave validation. But when you detach, you see criticism for what it really is, just noise. It's often rooted in jealousy, ignorance, or misunderstanding. Instead of taking it personally or letting it affect your mood, you analyze it objectively. If it's useful feedback, you use it to improve. If it's just negativity, you ignore it completely. This selective approach protects your mental energy and keeps you focused on what truly matters. Detaching from validation also allows you to be authentic. When you stop worrying about how others perceive you, you start living life on your own terms. You make decisions that align with your values and goals, not with social expectations. This authenticity attracts respect and true support, because people sense when someone is genuine and self-assured. Finally, detachment is a powerful form of freedom. It frees you from the chains of social pressure, drama, and emotional manipulation. When you own your worth and don't seek it elsewhere, you become a force that can't be stopped by outside forces. Your life becomes yours to command, and nothing can shake your confidence or peace. Criticism is unavoidable. No matter how good you are or how hard you work, people will always find something to say. The way most people react to criticism is what separates the winners from the losers. Some get defensive, angry, or hurt. They let the negativity fester and hold them back. Others, the real winners, take criticism as fuel, a powerful motivator to push harder, improve faster, and prove doubters wrong. The choice is yours. If you want to be unbothered and unstoppable, you have to learn to turn criticism into fuel, not let it ignite anger or self-doubt. When criticism hits, the natural reaction is to feel attacked or insulted. It's human to want to defend yourself or lash out, but this knee-jerk response drains energy and clouds your judgment. Anger and resentment make you vulnerable to mistakes, poor decisions, and emotional setbacks. You lose focus on your goals because you're trapped in a loop of negative emotion. Instead of being productive, you become reactive. This reaction gives power to the critic and weakens your mental armor. Turning criticism into fuel means changing your mindset. You learn to separate your ego from your work and your value. When someone criticizes you, it doesn't mean you are a failure. It means there's an opportunity to grow. This shift transforms criticism from a personal attack into valuable information. Even harsh or unfair criticism contains a lesson if you're willing to look for it. Real winners seek out this lesson. They analyze the criticism objectively, filter out the noise, and use what's left to get better. Fuel comes from action. When criticism fires you up, you channel that energy into your work. Instead of wasting time feeling sorry for yourself or arguing with critics, you double down on your efforts. You train harder, learn more, improve your skills, and push beyond your limits. This productive reaction turns negativity into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. You grow stronger with every piece of criticism because you refuse to let it define or defeat you. Criticism also builds resilience. When you train your mind to accept and learn from negative feedback without losing composure, you become mentally tougher. You stop fearing failure or judgment because you understand they're part of the process. This resilience helps you stay consistent, maintain confidence, and avoid distractions from haters or naysayers. Ignoring criticism altogether isn't the answer either. That's denial. The key is selective attention, knowing which criticism is worth your time and which is just noise. Constructive criticism from people who know your goals and want to see you succeed is gold. Toxic, baseless negativity from jealous or ignorant sources is trash. Your job is to filter and respond wisely. By turning criticism into fuel, you flip the script on your critics. Instead of being knocked down, you rise higher. Instead of feeling hurt or angry, you feel motivated and focused. This mindset keeps you in control of your emotions and in command of your journey, making you unbothered by outside negativity and unstoppable in your pursuit of success. Mastering the art of strategic indifference is one of the most powerful skills you can develop if you want to stay unbothered and focused. The world throws a constant barrage of distractions, drama, opinions, and crises at you every single day. Most people react to everything, giving their attention and energy to things that don't deserve it. This is how they get drained, stressed, and off track. Strategic indifference means choosing exactly what deserves your attention and what doesn't, and ignoring the rest completely. It's not about being cold or careless. It's about protecting your energy and focus like a high-value asset. Not everything happening around you is important, and not every problem deserves your time. When you respond to every insult, every petty drama, every negative comment, or every random distraction, you lose control over your mind and your priorities. You become a slave to external chaos. Strategic indifference is the skill of filtering out this noise, deciding what's worth your emotional investment, and brushing off everything else. This selective carrying keeps your mind sharp and your mission clear. This is easier said than done because most people have an emotional reflex to react. When someone disrespects you, spreads rumors, or throws shade, the instinct is to respond, to prove yourself, to defend your reputation, or to retaliate. But those reactions often escalate conflicts and pull you deeper into unnecessary drama. When you practice strategic indifference, you don't feed the fire. You acknowledge the situation without giving it power. You realize that engaging will only waste your time and energy on something that doesn't contribute to your success or peace of mind. Strategic indifference also means being aware of your boundaries. You protect your mental space by deciding what kind of input you accept from others and what you reject outright. Social media, toxic relationships, unproductive arguments, these are all drains on your energy. By being indifferent to negativity and distractions, you maintain control over your mental and emotional state. You become the one who chooses what enters your world rather than being controlled by it. Another aspect of this is focusing your attention like a sniper. Not every problem, opportunity, or piece of information deserves your full focus. Your energy is limited and precious. When you spread it too thin, you dilute your effectiveness. Strategic indifference forces you to prioritize fiercely. You only put your full attention into things that align with your goals, values, and growth. Everything else you let slide off without a second thought. It's also a powerful defense mechanism against stress and anxiety. When you stop caring about things outside your control or things that don't matter, you reduce unnecessary worry and mental clutter. This mental clarity keeps you calm and composed even in chaotic situations. Ultimately, strategic indifference is a choice. It's about taking back control of your attention and emotions. When you master it, you rise above petty conflicts, meaningless distractions, and toxic influences. You become focused, calm, and unshakable because you refuse to let anything that doesn't serve your higher purpose take up space in your mind or life. In the end, training yourself to be unbothered isn't just a mindset, it's a lifestyle. It's about mastering your emotions, shutting out distractions, building ironclad discipline, and owning your worth without needing anyone's approval. It's about turning every hit, every criticism, every setback into fuel that drives you forward instead of holding you back. When you learn to care only about what truly matters and ignore the rest, you become untouchable. A force of nature that can't be shaken by chaos, drama, or doubt. This is the path to real power and success. So stop wasting your energy on things that don't serve you. Train yourself every day to be unbothered and watch how your life changes. Because when you own your mind, nothing and no one can ever control you.